What if Apple TV Ultra is not canceled? What if Apple is actually hiding a full Apple TV lineup for 2026? Apple TV Mini, Apple TV Pro, Apple TV Ultra, Game Edition, Echo Edition, and maybe one secret smart home model. This could be Apple's biggest living room move ever. So comment lineup if you want me to cover every model in one detailed video. And if this video hits 1,000 likes, I'll make that full Apple TV 2026 lineup breakdown next. I'm Zach Stone and this is ZST. Now, today's video is not about every Apple TV model. That video comes next only if you comment lineup. Today, we are focusing on the biggest one, Apple TV Ultra 2026. If this thing is really coming, what specs could it have? What chip could Apple use? How powerful could the CPU and GPU be? How much RAM and storage would make it truly Ultra? What about gaming, audio, display, Wi-Fi 7, Siri, Apple Intelligence, HomePod, and Smart Home Control? So stay till the end because I'll break down Apple TV Ultra like a real beast-level device. Not just a rumor, not just a name, but what this box could actually become. Now let's start with the main question. Is Apple TV Ultra canceled? Maybe the name is, but I don't think the idea is dead. Apple may not want to launch just one expensive Ultra box. Maybe the cheaper Apple TV stays simple. Maybe the Pro model brings more power. Maybe the Game Edition focuses on Apple Arcade and controller gaming. Maybe the Echo Edition focuses on Siri, HomePod, and Smart Home. And the Ultra? That should be the full package. The model that brings everything together. Performance, gaming, AI, Siri, HomePod, Smart Home, premium audio, premium display. That is what Ultra should mean. Now first, the chip. If Apple wants Apple TV Ultra to feel serious, it cannot use a normal chip. It needs something beast level. My prediction is in a 19 Pro class chip, or at least something close to that level. Now, this is not confirmed. But if Apple really wants Ultra to feel Ultra, this is the kind of power it needs. We could be talking about a 6-core CPU, with performance cores for heavy tasks and efficiency cores for smooth everyday use. And the purpose is not just opening Netflix faster. That would be boring. The real purpose is bigger. Faster tvOS, instant app switching, smarter Siri, Apple Intelligence, better gaming, better smart home response, FaceTime on TV, and future Apple features that need real processing power. Roku Ultra is mainly built for streaming. Fire TV Cube is mainly built for Alexa and apps. NVIDIA Shield TV Pro is powerful, but its chip is old now. Apple TV Ultra within a 19 Pro class chip would feel like iPhone Pro level power under your TV. That is the difference. Now GPU, this is where Apple TV Ultra could become exciting. If Apple gives it a high-end Apple chip, we could see up to a 6-core GPU level of power. And that would change gaming on Apple TV. Better graphics, smoother frame rates, faster loading, better lighting, better Apple Arcade games, better controller gaming. Roku is not made for serious gaming. Fire TV Cube is not a gaming-first device. Shield TV Pro is better for gaming, but in 2026, Apple could beat it with newer silicon, better storage, and deeper ecosystem support. Apple TV Ultra does not need to beat PlayStation 5. That is not the goal. The goal is simple. Make gaming easy on the biggest screen in the house. Turn on the TV, pick up a controller, open Apple Arcade, start playing. No huge console, no messy setup. That is where Apple TV Ultra could win. Now RAM. A normal streaming box can survive with low RAM. Apple TV Ultra should not. If Apple wants this device to handle AI, gaming, Siri, smart home, and multitasking, then 8 GB RAM should be the minimum. And if Apple goes full beast mode, 12 GB RAM would be even better. For comparison, NVIDIA Shield TV Pro has 3 GB RAM. So Apple TV Ultra with 8 GB RAM would have more than 2.5 times more memory. With 12 GB RAM, it would have 4 times more memory. That is not a small upgrade. That is real headroom. More RAM means smoother apps, better gaming, better Siri, better Apple Intelligence, and longer software support. Now storage. This is where Apple TV Ultra needs to look premium. A basic streaming box can survive with small storage, but Ultra cannot. Apple TV Ultra should start at 128 GB. The better version should be 256 GB. And if Apple makes an Ultra Plus or Game Edition, 512 GB would make sense. Now compare this with NVIDIA Shield TV Pro, which has 16 GB storage. Apple TV Ultra with 128 GB would have 8 times more storage. With 256 GB, it would have 16 times more storage. With the 512 GB, it would have 32 times more storage. That matters. Games need space. Apps need space. Apple Arcade needs space. Downloads need space. Future AI features may also need local storage. So if Apple calls it Ultra, the storage has to feel Ultra. Now display. Apple TV Ultra should support 4K HDR, Dolby Vision, HDR10+, high frame rate HDR, HDMI 2.1, low latency game mode, better upscaling, better color accuracy. Now, should Apple go 8K? Maybe, but honestly, 8K should not be the main feature. Most people still watch 4K. Most streaming services still focus on 4K. So Apple should focus on making 4K look better than everyone else. Roku Ultra and Fire TV Cube already support 4K and Dolby Vision. So Apple TV Ultra cannot just match them. It needs smoother HDR, better motion, lower input lag, cleaner colors, better sports, better movies, better gaming. That is more useful than just writing 8K on the box. Now audio. Apple TV Ultra should feel like a home theater device. Dolby Atmos should be standard. Spatial audio should be standard. HomePod pairing should be stronger. AirPods switching should be faster. Dialogue should be cleaner. Game audio should have lower delay. This is where Apple has a big advantage. Fire TV and Roku can give you Dolby Atmos. But Apple can give you Dolby Atmos, spatial audio, HomePod stereo pair, AirPods, iPhone, and Apple ecosystem audio together. Imagine this. You turn on movie mode, lights dim, HomePods connect. The movie starts, audio syncs perfectly. That is the Apple experience. That is how Apple TV Ultra can feel different. Now connection. Apple TV Ultra should support Wi-Fi 7, not Wi-Fi 6. Not only Wi-Fi 6E, Wi-Fi 7. Why? Faster streaming, lower delay, better AirPlay, better cloud gaming, better smart home camera feeds, better HomePod sync, better connection with iPhone, AirPods, Apple Watch, and future Apple devices. Roku Ultra uses Wi-Fi 6. Fire TV Cube uses Wi-Fi 6E. Apple TV Ultra with Wi-Fi 7 would feel more future-ready. And if Apple uses a newer networking chip, the whole ecosystem could feel smoother. This is not just internet speed. This is ecosystem speed. Now Siri, this could be the real reason Apple TV Ultra matters. Basic Siri is not enough. Apple TV Ultra needs Siri with Apple Intelligence. You should be able to say, find me a thriller under 2 hours. Open the game I played last night. Show my front door camera. Dim the lights. Start movie mode. Move the sound to my HomePods. Show family photos from last weekend. Fire TV Cube has Alexa. Shield TV Pro has Google Assistant. Roku has voice search. But Apple TV Ultra could have Siri, Apple Intelligence, HomePod, iPhone, Apple Watch, and HomeKit working together. That is not just voice control. That is full Apple Home control. Now, smart home. This could be the biggest purpose of Apple TV Ultra. It should become the dashboard for your home. Cameras, lights, doorbell alerts, room temperature, HomePod controls, movie mode, game mode, family profiles, Matter devices, HomeKit devices, all on the biggest screen in your house. Fire TV Cube can control Alexa devices. Shield can work with Google Assistant. Roku has basic smart features. But Apple TV Ultra could visually control the Apple Home. You don't just talk to it. You see everything, you control everything, and it all connects with your iPhone. That is why Apple TV Ultra could become more than a TV box. It could become Apple's living room brain. Now price. If Apple TV Ultra gets this level of specs, it will not be cheap. My realistic price idea is 128 GB model, $249. 256 GB model, $299. 512 GB Ultra Plus or Game Edition, $349. Yes, that sounds expensive for a TV box. But that is the point. Apple TV Ultra should not be sold like a normal TV box. It should be sold like a premium Apple living room computer. Streaming, gaming, AI smart home, home theater, all in one. A Roku Ultra is around the budget streaming category. Fire TV Cube is a smart streaming box. Shield TV Pro is an Android power box. Apple TV Ultra would be the premium Apple ecosystem box. That is a different category. So here is the simple comparison. Roku Ultra is great for streaming. Fire TV Cube is great for Alexa and apps. NVIDIA Shield TV Pro is still strong for Android power users. But Apple TV Ultra could be different. A 19 Pro class chip, 6-core CPU. Up to 6-core GPU, 16-core neural engine, 8 GB to 12 GB VRAM, 128 GB to 512 GB storage. Wi-Fi 7, HDMI 2.1, Dolby Vision HDR10+, Dolby Atmos, spatial audio, HomePod support, Apple Intelligence, Smarter Siri, Apple Arcade, Smart Home Dashboard, AirPlay, FaceTime, Vision Pro connection. That is not a normal streaming box. That is Apple's most powerful living room device ever. So is Apple TV Ultra 2026 canceled? As a name? Maybe. But as an idea? I don't think so. If Apple is building this kind of machine behind the scenes, then Apple TV Ultra is not dead. It is becoming bigger. Maybe Apple calls it Apple TV Ultra. Maybe Apple calls it Apple TV Pro. Maybe Apple uses a completely different name. But the purpose is clear. Apple needs a powerful device for the living room, a device for movies, games, Siri, Apple Intelligence, HomePod, Smart Home, AirPlay, FaceTime, and maybe Vision Pro. That is why something big could be coming 16. NCTA now, I want your opinion. Comment lineup if you want the next video on every Apple TV model Apple could launch next. Mini,
Pro, Ultra.
Ultra Plus, Game Edition, Echo Edition, and the hidden smart home model. I'll cover expected price, specs, features, and which one actually makes sense. And if this video hits 1,000 likes, I'll make that full lineup breakdown next. Subscribe too, because that video will be uploaded right here on this channel. So the real question is not only is Apple TV Ultra canceled, the real question is what is Apple building instead? I'm Zach Stone, this is ZST, and I'll see you in the next one.